You make $10 an hour. You don't even need to do the math anymore. The number follows you everywhere. Into the grocery store. Into the gas station. Into every awkward conversation about what you do for a living. Every paycheck disappears almost as soon as it arrives. Rent comes first. Everything else fights over what's left. You don't have an apartment. Just a room. Someone else's house. Dinner isn't about what you want. It's about what's cheapest. After a while, you stop pretending you're making those choices. Your income is making them for you. At this point, money decides what your life looks like. One afternoon, you grab a loaf of bread, a tube of toothpaste, nothing else. You tap your card, declined. Not because you're broke, because the money you're waiting for hasn't arrived yet. You step aside. Open your banking app. Refresh. Once. Twice. The cashier waits. The person behind you waits. For a moment, it feels like the whole store is watching. That's the part nobody talks about. It's never just about the money. Later, you're eating lunch alone in your car. Almost without thinking, you open social media. Someone got promoted. Someone bought a new car. Someone's on vacation. You don't hate them. You lock your phone and go back to work. Comparing your life to theirs doesn't motivate you. It just reminds you how far away everything feels. That night, you search for better jobs. Every listing wants experience you don't have. Every opportunity feels locked behind a door you can't open. The hardest part isn't working. It's feeling like no matter how hard you run, you never get ahead. Work. Get paid. Pay bills. Repeat. The real fear isn't tomorrow. It's wondering, will this still be my life 5 years from now? Then something changes. Not overnight. Just enough to notice. Your paycheck finally feels bigger than your next bill. You stop renting a room. You unlock the door to your own apartment. Small. Simple. But yours. When the door closes, the silence feels different. For the first time, it belongs to you. Grocery shopping changes too. You still look at prices, but you stop adding everything in your head. One afternoon, you fill your gas tank. You watch the numbers stop. Full. It shouldn't feel like a victory, but it does. A few days later, you buy a new pair of shoes. Just new. The next morning, nothing around you has changed, but somehow, you walk a little differently. That's what $35,000 a year feels like. Not wealth, stability. The pressure doesn't disappear. It just gets quieter. Instead of worrying about every bill, you worry about the unexpected one. One repair, one bad month, one mistake, and suddenly, you're back where you started. Then something else changes. You notice people you never noticed before. A coworker leaves early every Friday. Someone talks about buying a house. Another mentions an investment account. They don't seem richer. Just one step ahead. You're not jealous. You're curious. Every Friday, your paycheck arrives. You still check your bank account. But now, you're looking for reassurance, not survival. You stop asking, how do I make it through this month? And start asking, what's next? At $50,000 a year, life finally looks the way you imagined. Your own place, a reliable car, food in the fridge, bills paid, dinner with friends, without checking your balance first. A few years ago, this felt impossible. Now, it's normal. And that's exactly when something changes. One evening, you open your laptop. You start doing the math. Same job, same raises, same routine. 10 years. 20. 30. You stare at the final number. It's enough. You'll survive. Then a thought crosses your mind. You never dreamed about surviving. You dreamed about freedom. A few days later, you accidentally find out a coworker earns $80,000. Same office, same hours, different paycheck. Suddenly, the gap doesn't feel like money. It feels like a different life. Nothing about your job has changed. You still wake up at the same time, drive the same roads, sit at the same desk. The only thing that's different is the number on your paycheck. But that number quietly changes the way you see the world.
I can't
You look
believe
back
this.
and remember
This is all I
counting
have
every
left.
dollar. Then you
It's
look
hope.
ahead. You meet people earning $100,000. They don't seem smarter. Just further ahead. You stop asking, how do I survive? And start asking, how do I get there? That's what $50,000 really feels like. You're proud of how far you've come. But now, you can finally see the next mountain. Around $75,000 a year. Something changes again. You wake up, and money isn't the first thing on your mind anymore. It's still there, but it no longer controls every decision. You move into a better apartment. Nothing luxurious. Just more space. A home office. A kitchen you actually use. A neighborhood quiet enough to sleep through the night. You close the door. And for the first time, it feels like home. Small things change too. You book a flight without waiting for the perfect deal. You fill your grocery cart. And only realize later, you never checked the total. Most people wouldn't notice. You do. Because you still remember what $20.00 felt like. The constant calculations are gone. Life finally feels comfortable. One day, it happens. 6 figures. The number you've chased for years. You open your banking app, look at your latest paycheck, and just stare. You made it, or so you thought. Because instead of a finish line, it feels like opening another door. And behind it, are people earning even more. That's when you realize, 6 figures doesn't end the journey. $100,000 doesn't answer every question. It simply gives you new ones. Life gets easier. Bills still exist. Taxes still exist. But they no longer keep you awake at night. People start looking at you differently. Some assume you've figured everything out. Others suddenly have advice. Invest more. Buy a house. Start a business. After a while, you stop talking about your salary. Not because you're hiding it. Because once people know the number, people start treating you differently. Think back to $20,000. Reaching $35,000 changed your life. Reaching $100,000 changed your choices. More opportunities. One night, you catch yourself wondering, what am I chasing now? 6 figures isn't the finish line. It's another starting point. Around $150,000 a year. Life doesn't suddenly become luxurious. It simply becomes easier. The apartment is nicer. The car is newer. Vacations become real vacations. Then one afternoon, a friend calls. They need help. They ask to borrow money. The amount isn't life-changing for you, but it's everything to them. You say yes, without thinking. Then they thank you. And for a moment, you remember what it felt like to be the one asking. That's when something changes. People don't just live with different incomes. They live with different worries. Your life slowly stops being measured by your paycheck. It starts being measured by something else. Freedom. Can you leave a job you no longer enjoy? Can you take time off? Can you say no without worrying about next month's bills? Not completely, but you're getting close. Around $250,000. Money starts buying something different. Time. Every decision becomes, is this worth my time? Around $500,000. Money fades into the background. The questions simply change. How do you protect it? How do you grow it? How do you keep your freedom? And then, for a very small number of people, comes the number almost everyone dreams about. $1 million a year. From the outside, it looks like the finish line. From the inside, it feels surprisingly ordinary. You don't wake up thinking about money anymore. You wake up thinking about time. What deserves it? Who deserves it? And what isn't worth it anymore? That's the luxury almost nobody talks about. Then, almost without warning, you remember the grocery store, the decline card, the cheap meals, the late-night job searches. They feel like memories from another lifetime. And suddenly, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Every version of you believed the next number would finally be enough. $20,000, $35,000, $50,000, $75,100,000. Every finish line quietly became another starting line. Because this was never just a story about income. It was a story about perspective. Money changes what feels normal. And once something becomes normal, you stop chasing it. Somewhere, someone is still making $10 an hour, wondering if life will always feel this hard. Maybe one day, they'll earn 10 times more. Maybe they won't. But if there's one thing this journey teaches you, it's this. At the beginning, the number decides what your life looks like. In the end, it isn't the number that defines you. It's the person you became while chasing it.